Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Yvette Best from Best Services Unlimited. And today we're going to be talking about 9 smart money moves you can make in 2019. Now this time I came prepared with my notes, so I won't be going all over the place. And that way you can get consistent value. So I'm going to take a chance to take and invite a couple of people into the room to watch this live because everybody deserves to make smart money moves in 2019. So once I do that, we'll get started. And if you can, get a pen and a piece of paper because these 9 moves will be great for you to implement. You don't have to wait till 2019. You can start them now. And we still have time before the end of the year to make some good tax moves. So I want you to take and put these ideas into your mind and into your spirit. Because remember, 2019, debt-free is the new sexy. So we don't want to have any debt. We want to pay off car notes. We want to pay off mortgages. We want to pay off credit cards. We want to get rid of student loans. And we want to be able to live the life that you want to live, not the one that you have to live because you bow down with a whole bunch of bills. So let me just invite a couple of people in. Okay, I guess that's enough. Okay, so let's get started. So as I've been saying to most everybody, my new year is my new goal for 2019 tax season. I always give a new goal. Last couple of years was taking your refund, paying off your rent for a year, and see how fulfilled your life would be not having to pay rent. But now I want you to take it a step further. 2019, I want you to take all of your efforts to getting debt free because you live so much better when you don't have to be worrying about paying the next bill. You can pay your bills early, if not on time. You don't have to worry about other things coming in. And if you have any type of emergencies, you'll have the funds available to take care of them, such as the broken water heater, broken boiler, new roof. I know that personally from trees falling on my roof 2 times last year. You need to have that stuff in place. So the first thing I would want you to do is to increase your 401k contributions. The reason why I say that is if you already have a job and your job is contributing to your 401k matching, you want to put money in it. You want to at least put enough money into your 401k to match what they are matching, whether it's 3%, 4%, 5%. And then any extra money that you have to invest, I always suggest getting a Roth IRA. Reason why? It's tax deferred, your money grows. And then when you pull it out later, after you turn 70 and a half, you get that money tax free. And tax free is good for me. I don't like to pay taxes. So, of course, anything that I can tell you to save taxes is what I'm going to tell you. So since most people who have 401ks, some, because now they're getting rid of 401ks on jobs, let's be honest. If you still have a 401k and your company is matching the funds, at least contribute enough to match the funds that they are giving you because it's free money and you never want to turn down free money. So 2, I want you to create an emergency fund. Do you know that about 50 million Americans do not have an emergency fund? So that means that if you was out and all 4 of the tires on your car was flat, most people couldn't even have enough money to just get back 4 brand new tires. They would have to go somewhere and get 4 used tires just to make it. And that's a lot of Americans running around without an emergency fund. So when you get your refund this year, I would tell you take a part of it and start an emergency fund. You need to idealistically have at least 6, I say 12 months. Really, you need to save like your whole yearly salary and put it up in an emergency fund. It's just for you to have it in case anything goes wrong because, you know, a replacement of a roof could be in anywhere $5,000, $10,000. You need a new boiler. That's another $7,000, $8,000. You want to have that type of funds available, especially if you have a home and you know that you own it, things go wrong and you might need to replace something. So number 3 is that I want you to check on your investments. Now, just because you have a 401k, you have other stocks, bonds, or portfolios, you need to check them to make sure that they are performing properly. It's important for you to check on your investments, not just set it and go and then leave it, because you need to know if some stocks is not performing in your portfolio to change it to some other stocks. If I like, a lot of people do age investments. So say if you're moving into a older bracket, you may not want to be as aggressive with stocks. You might want to move to something more conservative. So you want to check on your investments and making sure that you're keeping track of what's going on. Number 5, do not ride the stock wave. Now, stocks go up and down all the time, and a lot of people are able to get in, make a quick buy, make a quick sell, and make a quick buck. But if you're not savvy enough with the stock market, don't try to ride out waves, because you all seen what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin started shooting up the market sky high, and people were buying in. But there was a lot of people who probably lost a lot of money when they came in too late, and then the Bitcoin started to fall. So just be careful when you're doing this stock thing, that you actually have some good advice and some good financial advisors advising you of what stocks to purchase and when to sell them. And if you're not knowledgeable enough, get some knowledge, read some books, watch some videos, YouTube, YouTube is always YouTube school, and then also get advice. So number 6 is check for cheaper prescriptions. I know people like, Yvette, where did that come from? But we have health insurance. And then most people will just use the health insurance and go to the pharmacy and fill the prescription and pay the price. But you might want to shop around, because that's some places where you can save some money. What if you found out that I bought my prescription at one drugstore and it was $10, but if I would have went to another drugstore, I would have paid $2. So that would have been $8 you would have kept inside of your pocket. And that little amount adds up over time, especially if you have maintenance medicines, like if you have diabetes or high blood pressure. You want to make sure you're paying the less amount possible for the medicine, because you're using that medicine long term. So always try to get generics if possible. If it's brand new medicine, of course it's going to be the label brand, so you're going to have to pay probably premium for it. But if you could get a generic of that same medicine, go for it, because you're going to have a great savings for prescriptions. Number 7, avoid buying gas guzzling cars. Okay, everyone knows that this month is the month that most business owners will run out and buy the most biggest truck, the most biggest SUV to save on their taxes. They know, if I buy it on December 31st, I drive it around the block one time for business, I can write off $25,000 for that car. But how much is it going to cost you all year long to maintain that same giant truck with all the gas and all of the maintenance that has to go with it? So sometimes buying big is not great if you don't have a use for it. Now, if you're a person who has a truck because it's part of your business, you do maintenance, HVAC, of course, I'm going to encourage you to get a work truck. But if you're just, an accountant, I don't have a need to have a F-150. I just don't have a need for it. And most people who are in services and consultants, y'all don't have a need to have a big giant truck either. So sometimes buying big just to get that one-time deduction may not pay off in the long term. So let's avoid the gas guzzling cars. Then that leads me into number 8. I want you to shop around for insurance. Now, when your policy is almost due, just don't decide, okay, I like the insurance, I don't want to have the hassle. Shop around, because you might get a lower deal, get a better bang for your buck, and you would want to take and shop around. And that doesn't also goes for home insurance, flood insurance, car insurance, also health insurance. Because sometimes, especially self-employed people like myself, when you want to get health insurance, you got to shop around. You might wind up getting health insurance through the marketplace and they telling you that it's $1,000 a month, and then you might wind up getting insurance like I did through US Health Advisors, and now I'm only paying $300 a month. So it's a big savings, and especially if you have a family, husband, kids, all of that adds in, and you want to make sure that the coverage that you got in your health insurance is covering you in the case that you have to go to a hospital. That's always important. Most people are generally healthy, going to the doctor, getting checkups, but you know the reason why we have insurance is in case anything bad goes wrong and we have to go to the hospital. So make sure you checking up on your insurance policies and making sure that you're not paying too much. So my last tip, smart money move, number 9, you need to get a business. I cannot stress this any more than that. Number 9, you have to have a business. Now, most people like to say side hustles. I like to say side jobs with a business. It's very important. Reason why, one, if you're a W-2 employee until year 2026, you're not going to have any tax deductions, probably 5 to 7. That is it. Then if you have a business, you're able to connect some of the regular everyday things that you do to your business activity and deduct them. So that's always great. But the most important thing is 2 jobs are for 2 people. Please, I'm gonna say that again. Somebody type that in there. 2 jobs are for 2 people. Please believe that. I know people that's working 2, 3 jobs and they still broke. The reason why, because all of that is labor and you're getting taxed on it. So you will want to start a business so you can pay yourself first. Because when you make business income, that 1099 money, that money goes to you first, and then you take your expenses away, and then you pay taxes. And that's what's important. So the last one actually should have been the first one. You need to get a business started. Now, right about this time, I have a home-based business that is available. It teaches you finance, how to improve your credit, and just basically get 1099 money. I'm going to type our information in the box, and you could get with me and join today. And I train you because, okay, of course, as a tax accountant, I want you to be compliant. You have to have, when you get into this home-based business, you want to do it with the intent to make a profit, because that's why we get into business, to make a profit. And then again, as you know, I always say you can hire your spouse and your kids. That's a $12,000 per person write-off. And then basically making your lifestyle tax deductible. And that's always great, because I know people do not like Mr. 45. They say he doesn't pay taxes, but you have to think of like this. Is not paying taxes smart? Yeah, it really is. So I just want you to take time. If you came in late, listen to the replay, listen to the 9 tips that I gave, and I'm going to go over them again so you will remember what they are. So number 1 was to make sure you could put in enough money inside of your 401k, and if you're not, increase it to maximize the money that the company is matching you. Number 2 was to create an emergency fund. Very important. I told you 50 million Americans do not have an emergency fund. 3, check on your investments. Just don't set it and go. Make sure that they're performing well and make adjustments as necessary. 4, live within your means. We didn't talk about that. I must have skipped over that one. Yes, please take time to live within your means. Stop letting people take and make decisions with your money that you don't want to make, or you just being led to make. Don't do that. Live within your means. 5, do not ride the stock wave. We've seen what happened with Bitcoin last year, and I'm not telling people not to invest in crypto, because crypto is good, but just get some advice, get some studying, and know what you're doing. Number 6, check for cheaper prescriptions. There's always try to get generic, so that way you can make sure that you can maximize your prescription values. And a lot of people will say, well, I could write off my prescriptions, but you got to remember the way that these standard deductions are set up now, most people are not going to be itemizing. So you might want to pay as low as amount as possible for your prescriptions. Number 7, avoid gas guzzling cars. Now, we all heard about Ford and GMC are no longer putting any money into small cars because they're making a bigger buck by giving you these big cars and these big trucks and SUVs. But depending on the type of business you're in, having a large truck or SUV long term will probably cost you more than the tax deduction that you're going to get. And number 8, to shop around for insurance, to check over your homeowners, your health insurance, your car insurance, and flood insurance if you have it, and make sure that you're you're maximizing your value. And then lastly, number 9, get a business in place, because 2 jobs are for 2 people. You're not supposed to have 2 jobs. That's all just labor. You're just continuing to work. You're trading your time for money. And the thing about it is you're still going to wind up paying more taxes and not still have enough money. And if there's people on this line now that got 2 or 3 jobs, they could probably tell you they may have 2 or 3 jobs and they still not making it. You have to move to getting the 1099 money. So again, this is Yvette Best from Best Services Unlimited, coming to you today with the 9 smart money moves that I want you to make in 2019. And you don't have to wait to 2019. You can start it now. And if you like to join my team and become part of my finance success company, reach out to me, inbox me, call me. You do it already anyway. And just remember, I attribute my success to this. I never took or gave any excuses, and neither should you. 2019 should be a year debt-free and doing what you want to do, because I do a thing called what I want, and I want you to be able to do the same thing too. So with that, I say have a good afternoon, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.